What's going on, everybody? It's Childish. We're back at it again, coming at you with another video for Summoners or Chronicles. And in today's video, I'm going to fill you in on a lot of the changes that I've been hearing from the community that they want to see implemented into the game. As you guys can see right now, we're doing a little bit of quest grinding here. I'm working on my Kina, trying to bring it up here. I think we're at like level 52 in Act 4. So I was like, you know what? While I'm sitting here kind of clicking through the stuff here, I want to go ahead and share with you guys some information from about 20 plus people. And this includes endgame players, this includes content creators, this includes a wide variety of people in all aspects of the game that have played the game and really got a good understanding on it. They've really put their blood, sweat, and tears into this game and shared with me a couple of things here that I want to give with you. Now, there was obviously a lot of overlap here, so we're going to be focusing on 10 things for this video. But again, I want you guys to do me a favor, show your support, leave a comment in the comment section down below as far as what you think this game needs in order to be successful moving on forward here. So the first thing that I want to hit up here is going to be summoner balancing. So when I heard this one from the community, I was like, yeah, without question, this has to be implemented, because as you guys know, we got 3 summoners in the game. And as of right now, if you haven't been keeping a track as far as the PvP goes via regular arena, brawl arena, you know, a battlefield or whatnot here, without question, there is one class above all that is just wrecking face here, and that's Cleave, obviously. In addition to that, I would say, you know, the next one up there is going to be Kina, but more importantly, like, Cleave right now is just outrageously. Keith and Clean are the top 2, but without question, Cleave is outrageously strong. And what makes him outrageously strong is the endure factor. So again, because you guys know, the dark weapon here provides the endure with a really high cooldown. And so, you know, due to the fact that you can literally, you know, have that up almost with the 100% uptime there, it's just super good to have and makes it almost, it just makes it super hard to just essentially take it down here. So, you know, definitely going to have to be, you know, some, as you guys might have guessed, monster balancing, summoner balancing down the road here. But after taking a look, the community has told me after taking a look at the weeks upon weeks as far as like the regular arena goes and what they're seeing as far as the top end players, like top end players, like 90% of them are Cleaves. So, I mean, if that kind of tells you like how the flow of the game right now is going, then yeah, hopefully that kind of gives it perspective. So again, they're going to have to do some adjustment when it comes to the endures. In addition to Kina, when it comes to the reviving, they made some really good arguments about the amount of, you know, resources it costs to cast the ability versus, you know, use the skill to kill an ability, right? So again, in addition to that, the cooldown times on these specific abilities, is there a factor? Can they be changed if there is a successful revive, right? Does it increase the amount of time similar to Sky Arena if there's revive? There's a lot of little small things that they have kind of left out here. So hopefully down the road, they can make some adjustments to essentially balance everything they can. In addition to that, when it comes to the summoners, the next thing I want to talk to you about is going to be summoner scaling. So I did not recognize this because I was super focused on Orbia, and Orbia being a damage ratio, I just knew that she was attack scaling. But what I did not know is that Cleave is scaled based off attack and defense, which is kind of cool, because I was always wondering why people were buying my Bass soups. And that's one of the foods out there that give raw defense stats for a specific amount of time here. So that makes sense, right? In addition to that, Kina scales with attack as well, but has no factor in play when it comes to HP scaling or max HP scaling, which is kind of crazy, because you would think like a unit like that, like a support-based unit, should have some max scaling on there. So hopefully down the road, they can make the necessary adjustments needed to be to kind of balance it out, because I feel like as a healer, she definitely needs a little bit more of a balancing there. And again, this is not my personal opinion, but this is the opinion of the community here. But I do agree with the community on that there has to be some balance. This kind of goes, you know, right in line with the just balancing overall when it comes to summoners and PvP. Like, there needs to be some adjustments made so that everybody gets a, you know, fair shake here. Because as you guys know, when it comes to, you know, building the specific summoner and investing into the summoner, what I mean by that is the skill books and all that stuff here. All of that stuff stays on the one summoner, right? The skill books, the skills and whatnot do not carry over into your next summoner, and rightfully so. But again, if the focus is to invest on one unit, or you're looking to play multiple units here, there has to be some wiggle room there. There has to be some room for adjustment, right? Speaking of sharing, another thing I want to talk about is the outfit sharing. So right now, at the state of the game that it currently is, the outfit sharing is basically non-existent from what I understand. So you can purchase specific items, craft specific items and get it, right? But it's only going to be for the summoner that you crafted it on. So I can't take a regular, craftable item that we get the materials from the regular party dungeons and use it on my Kina that I collected for Orbia. So I feel like if you invested time into making that, you should be able to do that. I do agree with the community on that. Or they need to figure out what they could do to balance out the amount of resources used, because at the end of the day, the amount of resources used on these things is pretty high if you think about it. Again, I respect the fact that it is high, because it's, when you craft, the last thing you want to do is be able to craft everything in a week. But again, if you put in the effort to make these things and you're utilizing one account to play, multiple summoners here, I don't think they should have to go through that same process over and over again on their alt summoners as well. So I do agree with that, which is why I wanted to point it out. But again, if you guys have any insight on that, or maybe some adjustments that you would make as far as what I'm laying out here, feel free to, again, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Now, exchange swap adjustments. Oh my goodness gracious. So I can't show it right now because I'm not in town, but if you guys know what I'm talking about here, if you go into the town, you go into the monster exchange pieces, you will see the options to change your specific pieces for various things, right? Breath of Life, other monsters, so on and so forth. Well, the one thing that I was shown from the community about a week and a half ago was the fact that you can change out your extra 5-star pieces, for some other 5-star pieces or whatever the case may be that might be available to you. And it's like a 3-to-1 ratio for 5-star to 5-star. I'm like, oh, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. And again, it allows you to kind of focus on the units that you're looking for, make it a little bit easier for you to get those awakenings, get those skill ups. So I'm definitely down with that. But what we're not down with is the fact that if you go into lower categories, something like a 4-star, and they have options for the 5-star, you're paying 100-to-1 to get that one specific piece here. 3-to-1, not too bad, 5-star to 5-star, but 100-to-1, I think that is astronomically high. And again, we are not alone. I am not alone. That's a big thing. I remember the first time I was looking into a particular unit, I was like, holy cow, do I literally got to throw away 300 pieces? I mean, 300 pieces is what? That's like a max skill on a specific 4-star. Could be plus 15 awaken, depending on if you got that right element. So again, that's a lot of resources to throw away, even though it may be not on a unit that you're not looking to use or whatever. Still, that is quite a bit of resource that you could use. Maybe if it's not 100-to-1, maybe a little bit of adjustment down, 50-to-1, 20-to-1, something a little bit better. That is still a little bit high. I completely agree with the community there. Now, taking a look at the UI for, I want to say, the runes. I mean, Rune UI overall can use some adjustment here. There's a lot of cool things that they've implemented in Skyria that I would love to see in this game when it comes to the filters with what you can see, to include also the aspect of like disassembling and selling. Right now, if I want to disassemble a rune, I could sit here, select all, and just assemble it, right? But maybe I'm like, oh, you know what? Instead of selling, instead of disassembling, I think I want to go ahead and sell it. Well, right now I can't do that on this screen. I have to go, in town and go to a sell person or whatever, whatnot, and get that done. Which I feel like that makes sense given the fact it's like an MMO, and you need to go to a vendor to sell it. But it would be nice to have the ability to sell it right out, or even buy something to allow you to sell it right out, similar to what we do, where we spend money on various equipment to do our alchemy on our own, to do our cooking on our own, some kind of equipment or whatever that we could do to be able to do that. I think that would be really, really good, because at the end of the day, it's just, we're already moving around quite a bit. It would be nice to kind of clean house and, get rid of some stuff. And, if you have already a decent amount of additional, shards or stones there, you can, sell it for gold and get it back into it here. So, another thing I think I already pointed out, just over the overall rune management is another big thing. But again, that kind of goes inside of what I said. There was one that a person pointed out here when it comes to mouse locking in the actual application. So you guys can't see it right now, but if I move the mouse left and right, you will notice that it doesn't like hit the edge and stop. It literally goes off the screen. So if you're one of those people out there that play on the PC platform and have multiple screens, your mouse might go off and it might, screw up the playing that you're doing, when it comes to a dungeon or whatever this, may be. So again, it would be pretty cool to have kind of like a lock-in game feature so it stays in the screen. Sometimes it's like super hard to even see the cursor here. So I don't know, hopefully down the road they can do that, or they can let us, customize the cursor so we can, put a cursor on here that's a little bit easier to see. I don't know. That'd be kind of cool. Now, a big thing that I know a couple of people were complaining on was the whole concept of the event. So without question, ComToUs has been absolutely generous since the start of this game. And I couldn't be more grateful for the opportunity to start when the game started because, as you guys know, if you came into the game early on, you had the chance to take part in a crazy event, but it likes of a set here, which allowed you to essentially farm like a mad lad to get yourself some skill ups, some awakening materials to get this one Awaken 15. And, it was a 14-day event that literally got you hundreds, and I do mean hundreds of pieces. So if you were one of those fortunate few that had Sekhmet, Bastet, you could literally have capped them off, in a matter of 2 weeks, which is absurd, right? While it is good, don't get me wrong, that's like literally like a free 14 or 15 Devilmon, which is great for the people that have it, but for the people that, came into the game like 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, that is a pretty big gap to have there. And again, even if you don't have the specific unit like a Segment or a Hath or whatever like that, you still, if you partake in that, you still have those additional pieces that allows you to max skill a unit literally when you get them. So and I feel like they made some adjustments here moving on with the next events. Like it wasn't as easy to get the pieces. I feel like they saw the event, they saw what the amount of pieces people collected, like, okay, well, lesson learned, we can't do that, so now we're going to make the adjustment. But I mean, it's kind of too little too late. Now the community is going to be coming on board here, these next few weeks here. And of course, everybody that might be dropping when the game goes full on global launch, there's a huge there's going to be a huge discrepancy in overall skill depth, like skill up depth when it comes to specific units here. Again, it is one unit, and I get that, but it's still a big change considering how strong these units are. It makes a drastic difference in the person's gameplay, progressing in the game or whatnot. So I want to point it out there. I don't know what they would do with that, but hopefully down the road, especially if they go global launch here, give the people the opportunity to, have a limited event like we did, as lenient as that one is. And then, down the road, you can make the adjustments and kind of even it out so that once we, get, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months down the road, it could be all a little bit more balanced. Yeah. So I think the last thing that I wanted to point out here, at least for this video, is going to be the Battlefield UI. So I'm sure you guys know by now, the Battlefield UI is atrocious. It's very difficult to kind of move alongside it. There's a lot of settings that need to come into play to make it even, worth using. And so hopefully they can take a little bit of feedback from the community here to go ahead and make some of the adjustments and whatnot. I know that the targeting thing is one of the things that my man Barcode was definitely not a big fan of. And so I'm the same way. Targeting, it's really difficult to do. And, again, with all the summoners, monsters on the side, it could just be a simple pain. I know there's a couple of things that a couple of people in the community, shouts out to White Cuz Wild Time, who showed me, some of the things in the settings you could change, but there's still a lot of room for improvement. So I hope that they, continue to work on improving the UI, improving the quality of life there in the Battlefield. Because again, I really do enjoy the Battlefield. I think it's a fantastic little little dungeon that people could take advantage of, and it's going to be a hot dungeon that'll continue to be played, as much as possible. Why is that? Because they have shown in this game that Skystones are just a very limited resource, and we need different dungeons or different things within the game to go ahead and get those. So when it comes down to the point where you can get upwards of 30 to 50,000 Skystones, per day in addition, I mean, that's without question something that everyone's going to be taking advantage of. It's just something that you have to do, right? You got to get those Skystones, got to get the resources to, buy this stuff from the shop, get those Devilmon, all that stuff. A lot of resources to be had. So it's something that all of us are going to be taking advantage of. So again, I want to give a huge shout out there. Like I said, guys, we got literally, I reached out to about 15 to 20 people, and all of them came at me with a lot of great stuff, a lot of overlapping, but a lot of great stuff here. I'm actually taking all the notes that I've collected. I'm going to be getting connected with the contact that I have in ComToUs so that I can share this with them as I have a little bit more details. I kind of, paraphrased a little bit, excuse me, paraphrased a little bit here just so that this video is not, 40 minutes long or whatever like that. But if you guys have any other opinions on this specific one here, please do me a favor, show your support, leave a comment in the comment section down below. Now, don't just be like, oh my God, they need to reduce the gold. Like, we need some specific things to talk about here as to why they do that. And I'm with you guys on that. There's certain things that I feel like should be using sky stones as far as like rune upgrades, high rune upgrades, or maybe not as much. There's certain things that I feel like overall when it comes to the gold, it's still a little bit too high. Unless there is going to be things down the road to make it a little bit easier for us to get gold, or get decent gold, and then they're going to have to figure out, some adjustments that have been made so that, gold is not, coming and going as fast as it is currently in the game right now. That being said, though, fam, I feel like that's going to be a good point to stop there. Again, as always, fam, if you enjoy this content in any way, shape, or form, you all know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys all in the next one. Take care.